It wasn't the light snow that we had, yeah.
I said, where they gonna put it? I said, put it in dump
Yeah.
truck, dump it in the river.
Okay, guys.
Well, they got machines up there, but they got a burner in it.
now, so.
We're live. I got my phone off. That would be cool. That would not be cool. Thanks for the reminder.
For those that are tuning in, I'll wait till 5:30. And use the instruction book. on this one.
You
The
did good job.
suspense, just waiting.
You did a good job.
You guys okay with us starting a minute or so early?
Yeah.
Tom's fine.
Yeah, I use plans, sure.
We'll go ahead and call to order the Huntingburg Common Council. Let's start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Right, dear Father God, thank you for citizens we have here today and our council members and their dedication to the city. We ask now, go in this meeting today, that decisions that we make here are for the benefit of all citizens of the city of Huntingburg. These things we ask in your son's name. Amen.
Amen.
You had a chance to read the minutes. I'd entertain a motion to accept.
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second it.
Got a first, second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, approval of claims.
Make a motion to approve the claims.
I'll second.
We've got a first and a second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. First thing is on the agenda, I think you've got a copy of it in your, is the vacant abandoned building ordinance. I know, Phil Schneider, city attorney, covered that a little bit last, and you got a draft the last meeting we had. I think the idea, and I don't know if you had any questions or any additions to that, but the idea tonight is that we need a motion, looking for a motion to introduce.
I think an ordinance, it's up to the council, but an ordinance of this scope should probably be introduced at one meeting and maybe held over for a second meeting in case members of the public would like to see it or have questions about it. They could obtain a copy at the clerk treasurer's office or online.
I agree to that.
I think I concur with that. That's.
I agree.
Yeah, we've had some requests to see it, and I didn't really want to distribute a draft, but once it's introduced, we can kind of share that information with people upon request, with FOIA, I guess, involved. Do we have an ordinance number for this?
It's 2026-05.
I'll be glad to go through it again if you want, but we did cover it pretty extensively at the last meeting, but if there are questions or anything I can answer or elaborate on, I would.
I think we can go, I mean, like you said, you went through it and we have it in front of us, we can read. If somebody wants a copy of it, they can ask for a copy.
I think it's, it has a lot of verbiage in it where owners can come back and have good conversations with the city, and if they make any attempt at all to, there's a lot of ways for them to get this reconciled, so.
And I think one important thing is that it's both vacant and abandoned. So even if you have a vacant building, if you keep it in good, if it's in good standing, good order, and not violating any ordinances, then doesn't pertain to you.
That's correct. It wouldn't require registration.
I think it's gonna be well received by the people that I've spoken to about the problem that this ordinance is hopefully gonna address. Most people will welcome this, but I do think you're right that let's introduce it. Let's let it get out there, see what kind of feedback we get. And then I assume we can do that next week, our next meeting. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with y'all. It's long overdue, I think, and I'm glad we're doing it now and getting it moving on to make the city a little bit better, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean,
Definitely right steps in the right direction about that.
Mhm.
I wanted to look at something that made it difficult to keep a building intentionally, I guess, vacant and abandoned, and we do have those type of situations, and we've been very lucky, like I said, last meeting, of having our more older historic buildings being owned locally, maintained locally, but I know of at least 5 instances since the first year where buildings in other small towns and cities have collapsed as a result of snow and other things because they weren't maintained. One community not far from here, the state highway was actually blocked for a period of time, based, with that building falling down. So
Might still
I
be.
appreciate,
Yeah.
that we're trying to keep things not only looking good, but safe for that matter.
Okay.
So we,
No other comment. I'd make a motion to introduce ordinance 2026-05 for vacant and abandoned building.
I'll second it.
we have first and second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion carries. We don't need a roll call, is that
No,
right?
no, just carry on until your next meeting.
Okay. Next up, proposal we have considered pros resolution authorizing sale of real estate and seek appraisals for Veterans Parkway property. The 2 lots that are directly to the west of the, directly east of Geiger along Veterans Parkway. It's a corner lot plus another small lot. There's consideration of a local real estate agent who's acting as an agent for a restaurant company that wants to purchase the property. To do so, they did make an offer, but let them know to do so. We did have our appraisals in place and a resolution by the council in order to move that forward.
Since this property is in what is known as the Main Street Economic Development Area, there are some shortcuts we can take to sell property the city owns that are in that district. But it still does require the appraisal, 2 different appraisals by licensed appraisers or individuals engaged in that profession. And the city must receive an offer of at least the average of those 2 appraisals at a minimum. So this resolution would authorize the mayor to obtain 2 appraisals and then entertain offers. And before those offers can be accepted, they have to be brought back to the council. The council has to conduct a public hearing to receive comment on the proposal, on the offer, and then ultimately authorize it by another resolution. So this just determines an interest in investigating the sale of this property and authorizing the mayor to obtain appraisals and entertain offers.
And the price, the cost of those appraisals would also be part of the condition of sale.
You certainly can certainly negotiate that. You can't receive less than the average, so you can always receive more, and you may make that known that the costs we have incurred in making those appraisals are gonna be added to the average.
They'll have to reimburse for sewer too, right, Mayor?
Yes, and we did, Board of Public Works and Safety did approve extension of the sewer line to go under Geiger all the way to the west, because we do have to, so we wouldn't have to put multiple manholes along that stretch. So we were doing it anyway, but we can recoup the cost of that, of what that would cost to run through there. So, and that'll be part of the hook-on process.
Didn't we
Do we-
add a sewer line all the way down behind the venue at one time?
On that side of the street, it ends right at the corner of the Arby's parking lot, or not, parking lot, their building lot. So you'll see a little manhole there, just a few feet off of their entrance drive and parking lot there. That's where the sewer ends. Since we had we already had an offer for the 2 properties right next to it. And Anderson, the other one, while we're extending it, the Board of Public Works approved for, on a wastewater line to go ahead and run it all the way across Geiger. Because if we just keep adding to it and add a manhole each time, we'd have multiple manholes through there, and that becomes a maintenance issue. So I asked the wastewater superintendent to ask for a proposal to run it all
Extend
the way
on.
through, put it on there, and we'll recoup our costs as people hook on.
Yeah, the process is that to extend sewer mains for the benefit of a developer, you have to offer the developer free extension that is equal to an estimated 3 years usage on that extension. And then the developer pays the difference as a deposit. The sewer line is constructed. And then anybody that taps onto that main within 10 years would also, the city would also refund to the original developer an amount equal to 3 times their estimated usage. And they would get any tap-in charges on that segment until they recover their investment. It's kind of a complicated process, but that's the way we would recoup it. Would actually, the developer would pay it up front, less 3 times estimated usage. And would be able to recoup it with a connection charge as people tap into it.
The estimated usage on the Jimmy John's property was about 40%, roughly 40% of the cost that came to bring that line in. Was going to be about 28,000. And we've looked, I think 3-year usage is around 11 grand.
So that's the part that the city has to contribute toward that extension. And then they would contribute the balance and have the opportunity to recoup it if anybody taps onto it. But it's not likely that anybody's gonna tap onto that extension, that portion between their property line and the end of their property line, because across the street is city-owned, it's the Veterans Memorial. So it's not likely that there'll be any additional tap-ons.
I make a motion to go ahead and give permission to get appraisals.
This is resolution 2026-06.
I'll second that. Yes.
Okay, okay, we have first and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
And we adopt the same night.
It's just a resolution, so it doesn't have to, you passed it.
One reading.
One reading, you passed it.
I do have a question on that. It doesn't pertain to my yes or no vote, but it doesn't clearly state it in here, but it is my understanding that this property has to be appraised by a commercial appraiser. Is that clear? Is that true or
The
not?
statute only says that it has to be appraised by a real estate appraiser who's professionally engaged in making appraisals or a licensed real estate broker. Those are the requirements, but we can choose the appraisers we want, you know.
Yeah, in the previous case, we did pick appraisers that were referred to us through those people that deal in commercial loans and real estate, so.
Yeah, they're very slow and they're very backed up. That
Yeah,
is the other
that's
problem.
that's why I had to call in and find out who could be good but still be available. And it was difficult finding 2 people.
Yeah,
It took
yeah.
about 60 days for one of them.
Yeah, and I guess there's the licensings for that is I guess it's a pretty engaged thing that not everybody will do it. So, okay, so,
Yeah, we got lucky because we just actually found somebody that was going to be in town praising another property at the same time and, yeah.
okay. So we won't have to use commercial or we will?
You wouldn't have to,
We don't have to, but we will, that's.
but it's
that's
our,
probably
yeah, it's
why.
our choice.
Yeah, because the first question they're gonna ask is what the end use of the property is, and it'll be based upon the end use, so that'll happen. We have another one here, and this is, we do have 2 members of the council that have been on the committee looking at the Maple Park, real estate. We're ready here within a couple months here, putting out RFP. We want to make sure, request for proposals for that. There's one of our committee members there right now. But we do have a couple people from that precinct area, as well as actually 3 people that live in that precinct that are on that board, and 2 of our council members, myself, and who else am I missing? Tim and Jeff.
Angela, what you want to name them?
She lives down there too, yeah.
And
So we've had a lot of discussion regarding kind of the end use of it, and I think, one of the ideas we're looking at is from a scoring standpoint, that it meets certain criteria a lot of the criteria are going to be based upon satisfying maybe a solution to our comprehensive plan, things that are built into that. If it is housing, is it housing that's kind of complements the area versus detracting from the area? Uh, Putting a lot of apartments may not be the best, I don't think, and probably best use for that, but can they architecturally meet, the requirements for the neighborhood? We do have 3 or 4 different, not-for-profits that are looking at it. It could be, that's a possibility. There's a church and 3 others that are looking at it, and all those really satisfy, their use is going to be a use that can directly be tied to one of our items within our comprehensive plan to satisfy it too. So realize that about a third of that property is to the east of it, has the stormwater, brick stormwater areas. I think 160 inches and 136 inch that run through there. Not only area where that is, but the area where we may need to bring in a track hole or anything else to work it. We need to make sure that we get that, do need to get that surveyed and be able to establish some type of right of way for the city there. And we need to prevent any construction occurring on top of that, because that would collapse that brick and we'd all be in trouble.
Yeah, we don't want to damage that.
Yeah, those actually begin out here somewhere, one does. And we'd have water backed up from here to there.
Right.
So, and it's also that's used somewhat as a storage area for water that can't, until it's able to be released later on, because it holds a lot of water. So what we need is a considered pros of resolution, and what we'll do is really the same thing: seek appraisals and authorize going out for the sale of the real estate. And instead of a bidding process, it would still be based upon best use. The committee would review the application and make a recommendation to the council for approval.
And it would have to come back to the council in a public hearing. Because it's a sale of property.
Yeah, in our group with the group that's involved in it, we've been discussing a lot of different opportunities and what would come that fit in there. So right now, we have no concept exactly what we want to put in there yet. We're just trying to figure out the price of this property to start from somewhere, what the property's valued at, We probably considered lotting it off versus selling the whole thing, half and half. We don't know yet. So there's a lot of discussion yet to go on it yet, I assume. So.
2026-07.
So
So we have 2 members that haven't seen this resolution yet. Do you think there's any benefit to tabling this to the next meeting to make sure we get their input from Mrs. Burton and Mr. Ship?
This is just,
It's just seeking appraisals, isn't it?
just thinking of appraisal. I was looking at that too to see if we should do that or not. And I'm thinking, I'd like to have Don's opinion, if you don't mind. I mean, is there anything else we could do other than say, hey, let's send this out for appraisals and then we'll go from there?
Well, as long as we're because,
Yeah.
there's like a third of that lot is used to.
So,
So, I think that's a damn shame. And the houses sell. There's been 3 houses sold in the last year. 2 of them on Second Street and 1 on directly across the top.
Mhm.
That one of them, and none of those were up for sale very long.
Nope.
That's good.
So-
So,
oh,
you
yeah.
know, you could get some housing like that in there. It would probably be down.
I mean, how are we gonna appraise this in one big lot? Or are we gonna get ideas on separate lots too? Or how do you want to do this?
I think that's something you discuss with the appraiser, what's the best use of the land and whether or not it should be subdivided. Of course, the appraiser should know the limitations, the restrictions, the storm sewer restrictions, and so he can take that into consideration. But all this resolution does is just authorizes the mayor to go out and
What-
get 3
Yeah.
or two appraisals and then begin negotiations.
And,
But anything has to be brought back to you all.
Right.
yeah,
in a
I
public
think,
hearing.
yeah, you know, and I think, you know, just them taking into account what would be the best use of the property and make it worthwhile. When they appraise this, they'll take the whole of the property, but they'll also take square footage into account. So I mean, we always could. You know, one of the things we talked about as a committee that we want to make sure that the people have the means and the desire to move quickly on development of the land, that it doesn't sit there for a number of years, you know, and so you know, we would have to evaluate the you know, basically the financial means that those people have and their readiness to proceed with development. And that could be housing, that could be a not-for-profit, you know, childcare has been mentioned, church has been mentioned, a couple other not-for-profit ventures have been mentioned too in that area. In fact, there was even one where one not-for-profit was going to get together with another. Maybe they two buy that together and they share that property with parking. So there's several scenarios, and I think that really the reason I want to propose it now, I don't see us probably moving on this over the next maybe 6 months total. But obviously tonight, moving with this resolution tonight, sending out an RFP in a couple of months, taking time to review the proposals that come back to us. The longer the process takes, I think as long as it's not more than 6 months, the better decision we can make, because we'll have more opportunities, more interest in it. If we move too quickly, somebody might miss out on an opportunity to prepare a good proposal, make this happen, but we will never have a full city block available ever again, probably. I don't see it happening. And so we got, whatever we do here, it's been vacant for a number of years already. Let's be deliberate about what we do coming forward. We could list it with the realtor, get appraisal and move out right now, and somebody buy it and do whatever they want with it. But I think it's an area where it's high traffic. It's near our police station or fire station. It's near, we have housing on one side. We got a childcare facility, you know, to the south of it. It definitely is traveled heavily with people going to the park, going to ball games, going to the stadium, different areas. And it's an important piece of property, and whatever we put there needs to be of the highest quality.
I agree.
That's my speech.
Well, that's,
It doesn't, even if, it doesn't require you to accept any of the proposals at this point,
Correct.
but I think this is good information. And I'd make a motion to adopt the resolution 2026-07, so we can seek some quotes on this and see what the values of the property might come back as.
Okay, we have one motion.
I'll second it.
We got a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
if you notice these resolutions that we don't have roll calls on them.
Yeah, I guess.
So
I
this
do.
will be.
Okay.
Okay.
I gotta change my form on resolution.
That's what it's on if we had to do that.
Kissel,
Aye.
Bounce.
Aye.
Farren.
Aye.
Bolte.
Aye.
Ware. Aye. 5 ayes, no nays. Can we go back up to?
Yeah, probably should.
26 of
That's dealing with the lots on Veterans Parkway.
Kissel.
Aye.
Bounce.
Aye.
McFerrin.
Aye.
Bolte.
Aye.
Ware.
Aye.
5 ayes, no nays.
Thank you, everybody.
And the first one too?
Ordinance.
And oh five.
Okay.
All right, next up, we have Energy Superintendent John Rudepoler.
That's second reading.
Council.
John?
Copy of the report.
Start off with the gas department.
Just be glad when we're not changing out meters anymore, so.
Yeah. We did
Getting
change out-
close.
How do I get one of those that don't work anymore?
Yeah, that's right.
Asking for a friend.
Two of them out there. Say we did change 14 out. A couple of them were the old meters quit, so we had to get them replaced. A couple others we found at home, so we changed them out while we we're in the area. And we did relocate 2 services over at Jasper, Ireland area. They're building a garage, so they needed the service moved, so we went over and moved that. That's at the owner's expense. So they pay for time and material, so we got that all moved for them. Then while all the snow was on the ground and cold, and we went around and checked pressures on the regulator stations. Then we did inspect a lot of the, especially the larger meters where they're all right next to the building. How the ice builds up, slides off the roofs. And sometimes they do damage when they hit the meter set. So we just kind of went around and inspected all of them. And then we still are a man short in the gas department with Richard Myring stepping up to be the crew chief. Due to slow time of year, we didn't really address that issue. We're gonna wait until maybe spring, summer when activity picks up. We got some services we got on our high pressure system. We got that are inactive. They don't have a meter on them anymore, so we got to lower the pressure in the mains to get in, dig it up, cut it off the main. So we're gonna work on that. Basically work on changing a lot of the meters out this summer and spring when the weather's fit. So any questions on the gas?
I want to thank you during the time that we saw some increases in gas prices, that staying monitored, keeping those increases as low as we can. And we
Yeah.
did much better than some communities I hear. So thank you, John, for that.
Watched it real close, and like I say, the prices are back down to pre cold weather levels now. Seem to come back down. With the cold weather, that had some freeze offs on their compressor stations, which kind of spiked the price up too. Like I say, all that's behind us now, hopefully, and get back to normal prices. But there will be some higher bills coming in for the next probably month. I think we run like a month behind. Is that right, Tom?
We're always,
It's gonna be really
we're
high.
actually,
Yeah.
we're 2 months behind on our statements.
I hate to see you.
Yeah.
It's about a month to 6 weeks.
There's a little time lapse there.
Sure.
So. Did receive a call from our Ron Reagan that we buy our gas from. We're winding down on our 6-year PIFA discount program. It's a 30-year program with a buyout, or you can opt out after 5 to 7 years, and it's the 6th year. So I was talking with Ron Reagan next month at the council meeting. I'll have some documents for the council to decide if you want to do another 6 years of the discount program. There is 22 more communities, municipals that are going to join the program, which will put it at over 100 communities, which hopefully the discount will be a little bit better since there's more communities joining the program. So I'll have all that documentation next month for all of you to sign if you decide to re-up for another 6 years. I'll have some more figures on that next month.
Be stupid not to. Be stupid not to.
Could you get that to me as soon as you get it?
Pardon?
Could you get it to me as soon as you get it, so I've had a chance?
Yeah, as soon as I get them, Ron's gonna send them to me.
Great.
So it'll be ready for the next council meeting next month. Any questions on the gas?
No, we're very fortunate to have gas and availability and the pricing we do, so. Just visited some relatives in the Northeast and they are on heating oil. And that's, pricing on that's pretty rough. So.
Like I say, the discount program that we've been in for the last 6 years has really helped too. Trying to keep costs down as much as we can. Moving on to the electric, with all the snow on the ground again, not much going on. Two of our crew members, Trevor Hunefeld, Jared Paulin, they finished all their bookwork and online lessons for year 3. Got that all done, sent in. So now they're just gotta go through 2 one-week workshops to finish out year 3. Then they'll move to year 4, the final year. So it was a good time to get all that done for them. There wasn't a whole lot going on. We did set 3 poles on 22nd Street, just west of Highway 231. Little single phase lines, which didn't involve too much. Then we did replace a pole by the co-op for the co-op expansion. I sent a picture. It was a little more involved, as you can see. We did all that without shutting anybody off. All them lines are still energized. So we took all the lines off the old pole, pulled it, put the new pole in, put the lines back without shutting the power off.
You're unaware, that's off Phoenix Drive and it's gonna be a substantial expansion of their
Yeah.
area out there.
Like I said, it takes some time when you don't shut the power off. So as you can see, it was quite a bit involved.
You got the big truck out, didn't you?
Yeah. We got one of the bucket trucks that holds the lines up and over. And the other bucket truck holds the one line out to the other side. We set the pole in the middle and then we relocate the lines. Just takes a little time, but we got it done. And then the crews, they cleaned up some of the equipment after all the snowfall, get all the salt and the sludge and everything off the vehicles, got them all washed, and then they did some maintenance on some of the small equipment. And I received an update on a new bucket truck. We should receive probably mid April. We ordered it probably in August of 2023. At that time, they quoted a 2024 chassis. And so they had to update it to a 26 chassis, which added that amount. We went over the specs and we decided to remove the inverter, 1800 watt inverter, and the aluminum box that they were going to build for it, which saved that dollar amount, so which will help offset cost of the chassis increase.
Is that something you don't think we would use, that 1800 watt inverter thing?
No, everything's battery operated now, and we have several batteries that operate the same tools on each truck. So we always keep our batteries charged and we'll take them out. Batteries have come a long way now. They last a lot longer.
Yeah.
So we don't feel the need to pay that amount for an inverter, which
That's a
we
lot of
not
money.
use very often.
Yeah.
If we do decide to put one in, the guys can do it themselves. So just an area we could save when we had to pay the increase for the
Or you could,
chassis.
I mean, or you could use a portable generator, I assume.
Yeah,
as well.
and we got a portable generator if we have
In
the
a spot
big
you need
equipment.
one.
Yep.
So do we know the final cost on it
No,
yet?
But you better
Uh,
take it when you can get it.
Yeah, I know.
it was
I'm
quoted
just-
at 350, quoted at 354 back in 23. So and we'll have to decide, the council will have to decide what they want to do with the bucket truck. We're gonna replace, trade it in, sell it outright as is. That's something to help discuss.
Need more.
No. Probably need to,
I'm not
probably need to know the liability of it, you know, whether, which
We
one.
put as is, Phil, is that gonna be sufficient?
Yeah, yeah, it is. Buyer beware as is, without any warranties implied or expressed.
I mean, it's probably in pretty good shape for its age, and
And what
What's the trade-in value on it? Do you know that yet? Or?
they wouldn't even talk about it
Yeah.
back then.
no, it won't be much, I bet.
No, the company won't give you much.
Tree trimmer, dude.
Tree trimmer would be a great,
trim-
that'd
tree
be,
trimmer
that'd be an
would be-
awesome truck for
Yeah,
a
it
tree
would be an
trimmer.
awesome truck for a tree.
What's it, 60 foot, 65 foot?
There you go, where?
55 foot.
35 foot, it's
Hey,
pretty
let me
tall.
think about it, okay?
Let's start your own business there, where?
No, thanks. I got enough stuff to do.
But they'll, hopefully next month or two we'll know. I think we can get more if we sell it outright.
I'd say you're probably right.
Yeah.
And we don't have to accept anything. We gotta, I don't guess, if we did it right.
Have to draw it up to where we don't have no liability in it.
Right.
Any questions on the electric?
No,
No, very good.
very good, thanks.
Lose my report.
Mine's on.
Thank you, John.
Thanks, John. I thought you can add it onto your fleet of stuff you have.
How'd you know
Yeah.
you were next,
Working on my
Jerry?
ton truck now, yeah.
Water,
Need lots
Water
of money
Superintendent
just for
Jerry
break.
Austin?
Hi, Jerry.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
We'll jump into distribution. We had a few fire hydrants in our system that they wasn't technically an emergency to get replaced after our flushing season. We did have 3 or 4 of them there that did fail during flushing that we did get replaced right away. There are a few others here that are 1970s models that are either extremely hard to turn or they don't drain anymore. There are a few tricks out there that we do to try to get them to drain. Sometimes they just don't. The bottoms of them, they rust up, the coating comes off, and the weep holes get full. Whenever we flush those, if we're not very careful with them and make sure they get pumped out. If the fire department happens to use one of them and doesn't notice that it has water in it, during winter time, it'll freeze and bust and we'll have a really big mess in our hands. So, we got one replaced there at 8th and Shelby this past month. Went good. From there, we did have a service line fail at Jago on Raider Court. That was a 1-inch line that serviced 2 homes. So kind of the same thing we've seen there in the past with the discoloration. We just we'd love to go out there and replace them all at once, but it's just doesn't work out like that for us, unfortunately. So we'll take them as they come. From there, we did assist the Parks Department with locating water lines within the parks. Those water lines were put in many years ago. So as far as locating them, we spent quite a bit of time out there giving them a hand.
But that was fun.
Yeah.
You got lines everywhere, I
Yeah,
assume.
they do. Unfortunately, and they've got a lot of projects going right now. Our Parks Department's really getting ready to blow up and be a good thing, I believe, for the community. From there, I get 4 employees that are working towards water licenses, whether it be distribution license for the distribution system, water treatment license, or we do hold a wastewater license as well. There was a short water class held at Patoka Water, so I did send 4 employees to that this past month to help them with study material. And from there, we did have 2 lead lines that we have found with our lead and copper inventory. And on Geiger Street, we were able to get those replaced and got them taken care of. From there, we had another failed service, copper service line, but it was on Redbud Court. That one was, when they put that in, it looked like it was buried directly in dirt. What it looked like on that one was a rock had rubbed through the copper on that one. So we did replace it with a poly line that will help prevent any of those issues with any more holes rubbing in the lines there. And then from there, we do have a lot of dead trees, whether it be around the boat ramp area, the water plant, or the walking trail back around the lake that produces a safety hazard. So while the ground was frozen, we did work on getting a few of those trees out of there. We've been working with the electric department for the last couple of years, working on some of that as well. So that's unfortunately an ever-going project. We've got many trees around there. From there, we had a water main break at Pleasant View and Old Highway 231. It was a 360 crack, which is due to ground shifting. So unfortunately, we had a heck of a month this past month with water main breaks. The mayor started us off good.
Sorry.
He's not allowed to talk about water or water breaks anymore. But so we moved from Pleasant View there to a water main break at 4th Street in Van Buren. That one was a hole in the bottom of the water main. Those are just due to aging infrastructure. We continue to try. We plan this year. We've already got one that's been approved for material that we will start on when the weather breaks here on Geiger Street. We've got a few more blocks that I'll be bringing to you here in the near future to get approval on. We try to get as many of them as our financial situation and our workload can handle a year. From there, we did jump into our 2026 backflow testing. Came to you guys 3 years ago to get approval on that. That way we could discuss that as far as doing those in-house. We currently have 5 employees that are certified with that. Not only with that certification helps us be able to do this in-house to really save costs for departments, but just the knowledge of being able to go out to these businesses that are required to have them, the knowledge to be able to look at their system to see what they're supposed to have to continue to keep the community safe with their water system. We did look at them. We roughly have 25 backflow preventers throughout the city, whether it's water, wastewater, parks department, utilities, street department. And with that, over the yearly, we do save a cost of roughly $3,700 a year on that. That's just testing. Some of them, they do fail. They have parts in them that are wearable, springs, rubber gaskets, things like that. So that definitely plays into a big effect too there. There's no labor cost there, just material cost. It's been beneficial to us to send our guys to that schooling, not only for the knowledge, but from a financial standpoint for the city as a whole. From there, distribution, we had Josh Rogie. He transferred from wastewater roughly 6-7 months ago. And he has really buckled down and jumped into studying right away for his distribution license. He did obtain that license last month. So that's a big milestone for him. Water and wastewater tests are extremely hard. It's great though. We've got an employee here that is now dual certified in water and wastewater. He will continue to work towards his WT4 for his water treatment license to be able to have that license to treat water in the water plant as well. All of our employees were required to be dual certified for redundancy, just in case anything happens to any of our plant operators. We've got another guy to be able to step in and fill that position. So just like to congratulate him on that. From there, just our filter plant, it's everything's running as it should. Our project out there, it's kind of slow moving right now. We've got the construction crews got all the construction done up to this point to where the coating company, Obic, is in. It's Advanced Rehabilitation that's spraying the Obic system. They are in doing a ton of prep work. I learned a lot this week. The liner that we are putting in those filter cells isn't like a pool liner. It has 100% adhering contact. So if there's ever a puncture in that liner, it is only to that spot. They came in and this past week they've been they're using a water pressure washer and inducing abrasive material in with that to scour the concrete walls that are there to be able to give it that 100% seal. So we've had a ton of people out there. I don't know if anybody you drove by, there is a ton of vehicles out there, a ton of equipment. So they're getting that taken care of. They did actually, one of our filters, they did start to spray the liner in it today. They're actually still there right now. They said they won't leave until they get that liner put in or sprayed in today. And then tomorrow they plan to start on the second filter cell. From there, they will pull out, and then Kiefer Brothers will come back in to continue construction on that with putting that monolithical floor in. It's I call it a false floor. It sets up about 3 feet off the bottom of the filter cell and has some diffusers in it, and that water pushes up through there. So they'll start working on that once that false floor's in and everything's been approved. We will have filter media go back into those filters and be ready to be put online. I didn't add any pictures today. There's nothing really more exciting than what happened last time. They're just they're other than sandblasting concrete walls and putting rebar in. That's pretty much the extent of it this past month.
Good news is there's been no change orders and
No,
There's
no
what,
change orders at all. It's,
what the engineer said is gonna happen is happening.
yeah,
So
it's been very upfront. You know, from all the extensive research and that we put into it before we brought this project to you guys with looking at valves and looking at pipes and things like that. You know, we felt that it was a structural issue with the concrete, and that's exactly what it ended up being. We feel really good about this repair. Before this coating even went in, they did do all their hydraulic cement patching. We did fill the filter cells back up and there was no leaks. So, you know, unfortunately that concrete, we've had other leaks within the facility that we've had to seal, that we've talked about. I still truly feel that it's best to put this liner in just to put this one to bed.
Gives us some redundancy too.
Very much so. Yes. Yep. Yep. That's for sure. Other than that, that's the filter plant, and then our metering system, we're still monitor that daily. We still notify customers, potential leaks. So
They give you any issues in the snow?
lots.
12 inches of snow.
A lot. It doesn't, not as far as our metering system. Our metering system, in the past it has. Now that John's installing his electric meters and gas meters. So our water meter runs off of a battery. There's a battery in the meter itself and a battery in the radio. As far as the frequency range that has, it's not the greatest. So in the past, if we have a snow and we got a couple inches, 3 or 4 inches over them, they wouldn't read. And the company did tell us once gas and electric start putting those in, they'll start piggybacking off of each other. The electric meter doesn't have a battery. It runs off the power to the meter. So that is a real boost for us. So the more we see John getting his electric and gas meters in, the better our system does as far as stale reads and things like that. You still get your occasional lawnmower or snow plow that'll catch a antenna. They are recessed down in the lid on most of them, but they still do get caught sometimes. You know, we'll find an occasional one that, you know, someone has removed a lid to, I would assume, turn off the meter to fix a leak in the house. We do highly encourage people to contact us to do that. If something breaks while they're doing it and we get called, they'll get billed for it. If we do it and it breaks, they don't catch a bill for it. We don't mind doing it. It's part of our job. It's more of something that we'd like to do to handle that ourselves. But sometimes the cables get cut and the meter will go stale. So we'll go out and we'll have to repair that cable and things like that. So, but it's our biggest feat's probably cars parking over meters.
Just curious I know quite a bit of snow. So.
Yeah. Nope. The only
Going-
issues we've had with the snow is people's lines freezing in their homes and having to find the water meters.
I bet.
That's been our biggest feat. You know where they're at, but when they've got 4 foot of snow pushed up over them, they unfortunately
They
sit
move.
right by the roads and
They move.
They do sometimes.
John's offering free Wi-Fi for your meters now.
Yeah.
Not a bad deal.
Other than that, that's all I have.
Your
Thank
high demand flow, is this supposed to be 2 million gallons?
Yes, that day, we did have that water main break that, we were here well over 12 hours on that water main break. So that 2 million gallons, that is, what we used in that 24-hour period with the water plant and Patoka water running as well. So
Thanks.
we usually don't see those unless we get a big one.
4 zeros, but
And
yeah.
that one was a big one. We ended up sleeving pipe in
I
for
bet
that
so
one.
too.
So.
Just a decimal point issue.
Decimal
No,
point.
no decimal point issue, unfortunately.
2,000 on here.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
okay, that's
Nope.
good.
it's
Thank
2,000.
Yeah, right.
you.
Yep. All right. Thank you guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, we have City Attorney Phil Schneider sending a resolution accepting Commissioner's tax sale certificate.
Back in 2023, the Board of Public Works and Safety issued a order to demolish a structure at 410 North Washington Street. The homeowner never did demolish it. It was a burned out residence. And so the city ended up having to demolish it, and we attached a lien to the property after it was demolished to recover our costs. That lien became a special assessment against the property. Taxes went delinquent and the property was put on the tax sale list this past September. No one bid on it. And so by law, the county commissioners become the tax sale certificate holder. Um, and the law allows the county commissioners to assign that tax sale certificate to the municipal in which that property is located. They have, the county commissioners have adopted a resolution authorizing the transfer of that tax sale certificate to the city of Huntingburg for those two parcels that make up that lot. And without cost to the city. And so what that means is that the city would, if it accepts it by this resolution that you have before you, we would have to give notice to the record holder that he has 120 days to redeem this property by paying essentially 110% of the delinquent taxes and special assessments, 110%. And if he does it within that 120 days, then we can petition the court for a tax sale deed, and we become the owner of the property. So there's kind of a long process. It'd be sometime this fall before we'd be able to get title to the property if the owner doesn't redeem it. The one difficulty we have is we're unable to locate the property owner. His name is Joshua J. McBride. He's left with no forwarding address. I've noticed there's been a number of criminal offenses filed against him, not a number, but a couple infractions, and various prosecuting agencies have not been able to find him either. So we'll have to give notice by publication on each of these steps. So it becomes a little bit more expensive. But the property is probably developable. I mean, it's a nice lot. And it has access, a 15-foot access that goes with the lot from an alley along the side.
So we have to maintain it this summer.
Yeah, well,
We already
again,
are.
we would maintain it now, as we mow it, as we've done in the past, we've attached weed liens to it.
Right.
And that adds to the special assessments. So if the property owner would come in to redeem it, he would have to pay those as well, but I don't have any hopes that he's going to. And yes, so essentially we're going to be maintaining it.
14 north.
I mean, no, there's no reason not to.
No.
We'd like to have it back on where we could do something with it.
Yeah, in the past, on several occasions, we have sold these lots to Habitat for Humanity. Nice, safe housing, clean,
Yeah,
affordable
then
housing.
they put them back on the tax rolls.
And put it back on the tax rolls, right?
2026-08.
Make a motion to adopt.
I'll second.
The first and second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you.
Roll call? Is these got a roll call?
I have reached out to
Yeah,
Habitat, but there may be interest in purchasing the property for what we have. For us to recoup something.
Kissling,
Aye.
Bound,
Aye.
Farren.
Aye.
Bolton,
Aye.
Ware.
Aye.
5 ayes, no nays.
Yeah, we paid for the destruction of it, right?
Yes,
All goes
we
with
paid for the demolition.
Yeah.
That, it was a contract that was bid. I might also give a report on the property at, I think it's 220 Jackson Street across from the library. You may have noticed that property has been demolished, under contract, the city let. And, eventually the homeowner will be billed for the cost. And if he doesn't pay it, then again, it will become a special assessment against the property.
That's what it looks like now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very good.
That's all I have.
Dilapidated
Okay.
house is gone.
Clerk Treasurer Thomas Stipple. You have a resolution on the
Yeah. well,
utility
you have-
transfer.
You have it's an annual resolution that we do to move surplus earnings from utilities to from utilities to the general fund. And it's part of the budget that was adopted. These income figures that were adopted, 26 budgets. It's electric utility is $225,000, gas utility is $225,000, water utility is $50,000. Expensed monthly paid quarterly. By the utilities to the general.
I assume it's 2026-09.
Oh, no, this 2026, zero.
Make a motion to accept 2026-09.
I'll second it.
Got a first, second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Aye. Resolution passes.
It's $500,000 from business.
Put up here. This one does have, signatures by the utility board members. You also have, a ordinance was passed in September, not knowing in the 25 budget, what accounts would be high and which accounts would be low. You have requested also that I make sure that I give this to you. And what this is the attachment to ordinance 2025-23 that moves money between major budget classifications. Not for you to do because you've already passed it, but just wanted to give it to you.
Okay. This is a result of it.
Got questions?
Okay.
The next thing I wanted to bring up was, they're not on the agenda, but I did put on the 2025, the non-utility revenue and expense reports for every fund we have except utilities, which you already have. It's in a different format. So you have the revenue and expense reports and the balance sheets for all the non-utility funds within the city. And then you also have a cash summary, which compares last December, December 2024 to December 2025. All those are in the under your community, under the financial statements.
Could I go back a second? I meant to bring this up earlier. Do we know where Buzz Crone is with our water cost tracker? Okay, we don't want to wait too long.
Right.
Yeah. The other thing is, then I think the second council meeting is in March is for the 23rd. Sometimes that's an inconvenient week because it's spring break for some parents and grandparents. I won't be on spring break, but I happen to have to be at a wedding in Texas. I think the planning commission had the same issue last night and they moved their meeting to the following week, the last week in March. Wondering if that would be a consideration to do March 31st.
I probably would not be able to make the 24th meeting. But I can do the 31st.
I'm fine with moving it to the 31st.
Too.
It makes no difference to me. Earlier, yeah. Yes, I'm fine.
So that's which one is that?
The second meting in March
Move
from
the
the
24th meeting
24th
to
to
the
the
31st.
31st.
To the 31st.
Yeah.
So we need a motion to do that, or we?
Yes, bounds.
Yeah, I think it'd be a good
Yeah,
idea.
so we have a motion to move the meeting from the 24th to the 31st of March.
I'll make a motion to move it.
Go ahead.
I'll second.
Yes, okay, we got first, second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion carries to move meeting to the 31st.
Tommy may need to
Needs-
issue an open door notice for that meeting.
Before we get into council items, I do want to just bring up, you notice I kind of rushed into the meeting today. Been in Indianapolis all day with Mayor's Youth Council. We left about 6:30 this morning for Indianapolis. We actually took a bus up. with Jasper High School group, about 30 kids total went up there along with Mayor Von der Heide, Mayor-elect Ryan Craig, and myself and a couple of sponsors, Mr. Schneider and Lisa Bauer from City of Jasper. It's a great day that learned how the government worked or didn't work, you know, and how committees work in the morning. We then went over to the State House. They had an opportunity. We arranged meetings with Senator Schmidt. He was very gracious to spend time with the students. We spent quite a bit of time in Governor Braun's office. They had about a half hour to question him and grill him, and Maureen happened to be there too, to do that, and some very good questions and answers there. And ended up the day at the Secretary of State, Diego Morales's office, and asked him a bunch of questions. Very inquisitive, great group. It was nice having the two groups together this year, traveling up there, having lunch together, traveling back. And we ought to be proud of students that are being brought up in our school systems. They're fantastic group. Everywhere I go, frankly, you know, at the high school, it's been that way. So I had to put that on record. It was a good day.
Good to hear.
It's good.
Speaking of that, the high school has the Music Man, their musical this week, so Thursday, Friday.
7 o'clock Friday night or Thursday night's kickoff, right?
Yep, Thursday, 7 o'clock. They have 4 shows.
Are you gonna be
Thursday,
there
Friday,
for opening
Saturday.
night? I got that text message today.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so the kids have put in a lot of hard work for that.
All right. Do we have any council items this evening?
I have none.
Do we have any citizens items? We got some citizens here, 3 of you. Anyway. Hi, Janet.
I'll do another shout out, Janet Schnell. I'll do another shout out. We have a very good Chief Kramer, who in charge of our police department, who's sending some of his deputies over for critical incidents training this week. And so they're learning how to address if they come in contact with someone who's suffering from mental health disorders and the best way to handle it. And so I really appreciate that he's being very proactive in addressing and educating our guys to how to best way to do that. So I'll be helping out on Thursday and Friday when they do role plays, but very impressed with our chief. That's it.
I will ditto that. And yeah, I
Good to
will
hear.
say too, you know, we're trying to, as a city also, you'll see some changes, some more trainings with the rest of our staff, but normalize or make it easy for people or develop a culture where that they can reach out for mental health issues. And obviously our first responders, fire department, police department, some of you have been involved in some of those kind of activities, can be very traumatic with the situations that they see. And we're trying to, not only that, but all departments really to be able to make a culture where they can easily come to their supervisor or us and say, hey, I know we have the EAP program. Everybody's got one, but we're trying to take it a step further. And so thank you, Jan, for saying that.
Thank you.
Anything?
To adjourn.
Well, we got a motion to adjourn.
Did you want to say anything? You're right.
Dan? You
All
got-
right.
Donnie, Dan? No?
All right.
I'll second it. I'll second it.
Okay, we have first, second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Yeah, that was
All right,
good.
thank you. Motion carries.
That's great.
Adjourn 6:30.